What's up, Rocket family? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm excited about. It's the biggest collaboration I've been a part of on this channel. It is the mystery box challenge. Now this is a challenge that is put together by Creative on the Cheap here on YouTube, Courtney, and a bunch of other DIYers, and they do this monthly or bi-monthly, and what they do is they send each other a box, and in that box there are 2 items that are challenging to work with, and those will be wrapped up, and then you also give some other items that you can do some DIYs with. I was given Creative on the Cheap Courtney. I am sending out my box to her, so make sure you check out her channel to see what she does with the items I sent her, and check out all of the other DIYers. They are all linked down below for you guys to check out their channels, and I highly recommend it. I think that it's always a good idea if you're into crafting and watching videos on YouTube in general to check out other channels. You get other ideas and get to see different styles. So I highly recommend checking out everybody down in the description below. So a little bit of calm and crazy got me Jennifer. She sent me this box. I'm excited to see what I got. I'm going to open this now with you guys, and then we're going to DIY. So I'm excited and I'm nervous because, you know, I don't really go to Dollar Tree and look at hard things and think to myself, I'm gonna use that. Like, I try to find things that make sense, so I'm nervous to see what I got. So let me open this box. So like I said, the mystery box challenge are wrapped up, so I'm gonna save those for the end. So I got a little note here. Oh, she wrapped them, like literally wrapped them. So I got a note from Jennifer, and it says, Bethany, I am so excited you are doing the mystery box challenge with us. You always come up with the best DIYs. I hope you get a good laugh from the challenge items and don't find them too difficult. I also can't wait to see if you use anything else from the box. Jennifer, I added a little of my favorite candy just in case. Oh, that's sweet of her. So, oh, that's so cute. Lemon Pucker Russell Stover. I do like lemon candy. I don't like lemon, like straight up lemon, but I like lemon candy. So here we are. I'm gonna put the mystery challenge to the side. Let's see what we got. The first thing we got some greenery, some floral pieces, which I love these little roses. I recently used them in some Easter DIYs. I love these, so good job, Jennifer. Thank you for that. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, one of the requirements for this challenge is to use yarn. So I do see some yarn. And then I got some yarn right here. I got the yarn that Dollar Tree carries, the Just Cotton Premier yarn. Got it in red and in orange, and then oh wow, she gave me a rainbow here. Oh, and then she gave me a rainbow wreath form. She's making it easy for me, y'all. And I've never actually really used a wreath form in yarn or even the tool that they give at Dollar Tree. So I'm gonna try doing a rainbow. Like, I'm going to try it. Especially it'll go well in Cooper's room with the little clouds and stuff that are in there. But look, she gave me rainbow colors. How sweet is that? So I got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And you know what? She put it in the box in the order of a rainbow. Look at that. Thank you, Jennifer. That is so cute. In which I have not seen this wreath form before yet at Dollar Tree. Then I got these little decor pieces for the wedding. I know it's like from the wedding decor. I got a reception one and then a gifts one. I got, oh yay, I got one of the little arches that Dollar Tree recently got in. These things are so awesome. I got some styrofoam pearls, which I always love me some Dollar Tree pearls. I got 2 of the wooden boxes Dollar Tree carries, which these are some of my favorite things to DIY with. I got one of these This Is Us pictures, and then oh, these are pretty rub-on transfers, and they are little feathers. I got a big old metallic happy sign. And then I got some Craftwise chalkboard paint. So okay, let's look at this is what I'm nervous about, the challenge item. So we're gonna start off with the first one that says challenge item 1, and if I could guess, it kind of feels like a t-shirt, honestly. Okay, let's see what this is. I'm nervous, y'all. So it's just a plain white flour sack. We'll see what I can do with this because I don't know how to sew or anything of that nature, so we're gonna see. But it is a flour sack. It could be worse, okay? It could be worse. So thank you, Jennifer, for going a little easy on me there. Okay, let's see. And then the second one is, now I feel bad for what I said, Courtney. Okay, let's see what I got. The next one is, oh wow, some hair spirals. These are actually really pretty. They're actually very, very pretty. They kind of remind me of like growing up in the 90s and the butterfly clips and then the spirals you would stick inside of your hair. I haven't seen these at Dollar Tree yet. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Got some ideas with these charms, but when it comes to this, I don't know. So those are it for what I got in my mystery box. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Make sure, again, you check her down in the comments or section below. Y'all, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Down in the description box below, and let's see what I can do with all of these goodies.
Our first DIY, I just decided to do what Jennifer made easy for me. I decided to do a rainbow wreath. So I took the yarn that she gave me in these beautiful colors and the wreath form to create the rainbow wreath. I just started wrapping the yarn around the wreath form. There's 3 different sections you can split this up into and do 2 colors in each section, and it makes it kind of easy for you to figure out where you should place the yarn and where you should stop. I ended up putting too much red yarn at first and then figuring out, oh wait, I could clearly see where these sections should go, and I had an easier time after that. I didn't use any hot glue or anything like that to keep the yarn on. I was just tying the yarn directly to the wreath form and then wrapping it around. Quick tip, it's easier to move around the wreath form than the yarn itself to wrap it around the wreath form. For as much yarn as you guys just saw me use, I had a lot left over. This is all I had left over. So if I had more of those rainbow wreath forms, I could make a lot more rainbows. So I decided to create some pom-poms using Dollar Tree's white yarn that I could use as clouds. I ended up getting these pom-pom makers at Joann Fabrics. It's by the brand Clover, and it has really good reviews. You can find it on Amazon, Joann Fabrics, like I just said, Michael's. Hobby Lobby carries its own pom-pom maker, but it doesn't have good reviews. Basically, you take your yarn and you wrap it around the sides that are on this Clover maker, and then you kind of just cut through the top. If you decide to get this thing, I recommend watching a tutorial on it. Don't necessarily listen to me because I make no sense, but you cut through it and then you add another piece of yarn to tie all of the yarn together, and I did a couple of knots to make sure this was nice and secure. Then you go ahead and open up this Clover maker and you'll have a pom-pom. There's different sizes. I got the bigger size to make big pom-poms. And then I ended up making 2 smaller pom-poms with the other maker that I had. When I tied the pom-pom together, I left quite a bit of excess yarn so that I could use that yarn to tie around my wreath. So I put the yarn through the wreath form and then I tie what are my clouds in place. Like I said, I did 2 large pom-poms and 2 that were a little bit smaller, so I just tied all of those into place. I decided to use one of the mystery challenge items in this DIY. That was the hair spirals. Initially, I was using pliers to undo the spirals, but the wire kept breaking. The wire is so easy to break, so I don't necessarily recommend these for DIYing. I had to use it because it was my challenge item. If you want to use these, I just recommend using the little charm, not the rest of the wire. Get wire elsewhere. So what I did is I took the ends of the spiral pieces and I just had them dangling below the rainbow. I just fed the wire through the back of the wreath and then bent it in place using my pliers, but very lightly so that I wouldn't break the wire. Like I said, if you want to do something similar like this, I don't recommend using the hair spirals though, because they are very easy to break. I ended up actually cutting myself with one of the wires when I was trying to use my pliers at first. And you see that, guys? It looks so cute in Cooper's room. I knew it would. Cooper's room is very colorful, very childish, and so I really love the way that it looks inside of his room. Next up, we are going to be using the wooden boxes that I got in my box. I decided to paint these just using regular brown acrylic paint. I'll link the color I used down in the description box below because I can't remember offhand. I think it was Melted Chocolate by Apple Barrel. I painted the outside, the inside of the box with this color, as well as the little drawer that pulls out. When I place the drawer back inside of the box, I have the cutout that's on the front, normally facing the back of the box. After I have both boxes painted and dried, I attach them together using some hot glue. I recommend using wood glue, but I tend to use hot glues when I film just because it dries more quickly and I don't have to wait forever to finish my video. Next up, I take the arch that came inside of the box and I glue it to the back of my wooden boxes. Again, I used hot glue, but I recommend using something more heavy duty. Or you can also just end up using hot glue and use like a popsicle stick where the arch and the little boxes meet to really just secure everything in place. Now to the front of my drawers, I am gluing on these magnetic hooks. You can leave it just like this if you want to. I decided I wanted to add a little bit more decorativeness to the front of the hooks, so I got these wooden leaves from Dollar Tree and I just glue one leaf on the front of each hook. You can just have this be a decorative piece you lay around your house. What I intended it for was a key holder. It's great to throw your keys on top of. There are drawers that you could put other things inside of. All you have to do is nail a nail into the wall and then hook this onto that nail. If you do this though as a key holder, you really got to make sure you use more heavy duty glue than just hot glue. It's time to use my other mystery box challenge item. It's the flour sack towel. Before I use this thing, I used my handheld steamer to try to get rid of as many of the wrinkles as I could. Now I folded this to a size that I liked and then I glued it together. So I glued both ends of the towel together using some hot glue. Now I'll be taking these wooden rulers from Dollar Tree and painting them. I'm using the exact same paint that I used on the key holder. It's that brown color, but I used some water to really water it down. Now I go ahead and glue those rulers to the top and bottom of my towel, and I just used hot glue to do this. Next up, I purchased this faux leather at Dollar Tree. They have them in different colors. I'm going to be using this black one, and I just cut it down to a size that I liked, and then I glue that to the front of the towel. I ended up using my Cricut to cut out some vinyl that said, "Let all that you do be done in love." It is a Bible verse. You can do whatever you want, and if you don't have a Cricut, Dollar Tree does carry stickers you can use. They carry rub-on transfers, but these don't work on the leather at all. I ended up trying to use the leaf rub-on transfers that I had gotten from Jennifer, and it just did not work. So don't get the rub-on transfers, get stickers instead. To decorate this a little bit more, I took these flower pieces and I just glue them to the ends of each of my rulers. I didn't call the leaves that I used earlier on wood. They're not wood. I messed up. It's craft material. It's like a thicker craft material. To hang this on the wall, I am going to be using some nautical rope. I fed the rope through the top of my towel and then I glued the two ends of the rope after I cut it down together using hot glue. I decided to glue the ends together versus a knot because the knot is really big since this rope is so thick. I then moved the rope around so that the two ends that I glued are hidden underneath the towel. Looking back on this, it's better to do the rope before gluing the towel together and then doing everything else after. I just didn't think of doing it that way because usually when I film a DIY, I don't go in with a plan. I just kind of go along and see what ends up happening. I was left with this really pretty image. It reminds me 100% of something I could buy at Hobby Lobby or Home Goods. It was really easy to do, and I still have leftover materials I can use for some other projects. For our next project from Dollar Tree, I picked up one of these oval shaped wood pieces and I just painted it using a brown acrylic paint. I also used my Cricut to cut out some white vinyl that said "Welcome," and I placed that on the front of my wood. To the bottom of this, I glued on some of the greenery that Jennifer provided me with. And basically, I'm just making like a tabletop decor piece. It could even be a wreath if you wanted to. I know that people use those big round wood pieces to make these really pretty wreaths. And this could just be like a miniature version that you use. And if you want to put it on something, you can use some rope from Dollar Tree and glue it to the back, hang it up that way, or you can use command strips. This works in a tier tray, it works on the door. It's just really cute and inexpensive to do. This DIY is my favorite after the rainbow. From the mystery box, I'll be using this image. I had another one on hand, and the main thing from these images I'm using are the frames of these pictures. I used some pliers to remove the metal pieces that were on the back and inside of only one of the picture frames. It wasn't necessary to do it to both of them. I then glue both of the picture frames together. The one that has the metal pieces removed is the one that's going to be placed on the top. I glued some brown faux leather to the image that is supposed to go on the picture frame that's on the very top. Then I take the picture and glue that to the picture frame. By the way, that faux leather is also from Dollar Tree. It's one of the other colors that they have. They have like 2 different shades of brown, a white one and a black one. To cover up the space where both of the frames meet, I'm going to be using this faux leather ribbon. I also got it from Dollar Tree. I just glued it on using my hot glue. Now I ended up purchasing these really pretty glasses from Dollar Tree. I love the gold trimming. Then I ended up printing out these labels. I made them myself on the website befunky.com. It's a free website, not sponsored. I used their collage maker. I just put some text on there. The text I use is called Andale Mono. I typed out what I wanted, printed out on sticker paper, cut it, and just place that on the front of my glasses. A couple of months ago, I purchased something similar to this at TJ Maxx for $15. It was 3 glasses that had these labels at the front inside of this tray. So I decided to create my own using Dollar Tree products, and isn't it nice? I love this thing. Like I said, it's my favorite after the rainbow. For our final DIY from the mystery box, I'm going to be using these wedding decor pieces. They're arrows and they're on these little stands. I ended up removing the pieces that make up the stand as well as the little metal piece that is holding one of the wooden pieces. I then used the black chalk paint that I got in my box to paint the arrows. I don't really know how well the chalk paint works because I didn't take chalk to it, but in terms of the coverage, it's really nice. Now I'll be using 2 of these wooden trays that I purchased from Dollar Tree, and I had stained a while ago using Min Wax Stain and Dark Walnut. I'll be gluing the arrows to the sides of these trays. This is another one of those projects where I used hot glue just because it dries more quickly, but I do recommend using a glue that's a little bit more heavy duty, like a wood glue or something like Super Glue E6000. Now you can use this thing as multiple things. You can use it as a tier tray. You can use it as just some type of shelving unit. You can also use it as a fruit basket. The fruit I'm putting inside of this is fake. Because I used hot glue, this isn't going to hold with real fruit. So if you want to use this with real fruit, you want to use a heavy duty glue, like I said. That is it for this mystery box challenge. Thank you so much to Jennifer for providing all of the items I used inside of this, and thank you to Courtney, Creative on the Cheap, for putting this all together and asking me to be a part of this. Remember, I will have all of the women involved in this down in the description box for you guys to check out. They all have wonderful channels with awesome DIYs. I highly recommend checking them all out. There will also be a playlist link down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are all doing great. Take care. Bye.